All right, we're live on a Thursday, excuse me, Thursday night. So I have a new plan, strategy. I get a lot of questions from patients, from the internet, from YouTube, and they're good questions, and I want to help everybody. I have a goal of getting rid of all back pain, and it is possible. So I'm going to start doing every night, different questions I get, I'm going to do a video. And the more you watch these questions, and the better you understand, the more likely you are to get rid of your back pain. Back pain is not easy to get rid of, but if you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, it can and will go away. So I got this question twice. Two separate people the same week. Excuse me. When they're walking, they're getting back pain. So what do they need to do to prevent it? And it was a unique situation where they were walking in a very tight space. What I mean is somebody was walking in their house, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We have a 10-step process, but number one is knowing your spine and knowing what causes pain in your spine for you, because it's not the same for everybody. So this strategy is going to help you identify what it is and why it is. So if you have it, pay attention. It was all about walking, and they were walking in their house. And when you walk inside a house, you don't have the ability to walk far and straight unless you have a really big house. But it's tight corners, walking around furniture. And what happens when you're walking like that, it tends to aggravate your back. Why is that? Because one of the things that we use for our therapy is walking. But if you're walking and you're turning a lot, it causes problems. So if you do that and it hurts, it has a lot to do with the disc. 24 vertebrae between the head and the hips. In between each vertebrae, the vertebrae are the bones. In between each vertebrae, there's a disc. The disc is like a jelly donut in the sense that the outside of the disc, there's a thick material. Inside the disc, there's a jelly. What can happen from wear and tear and inflammation is the tissues can get weaker. Inflammation will cause tissues to get weaker. And as they get weaker, they start to tear. Disc tears don't like to rotate. Rotate makes them worse. Matter of fact, rotate causes these little tears in it's called delamination. So the annular fibers will delaminate, they'll separate from each other. That can be painful. So what happens is sometimes when you're walking, and you're walking in a tight space, your shoulders move independent of your hips, especially when you have tight hips. So walking in tight spaces very often will make your back pain worse. So I tell you to walk, but not walking in tight spaces. But there's a way you can do it and walk in the tight spaces and not have a problem. But another problem can happen. So we know that the tear hurts with rotation, but we also know that when you have arthritis in the joints, in the little joints of the back of the spine called facet joints, that too will hurt. That will cause you some pain. So it's a combination of the tear and the arthritis in the facet joints. When you rotate, you have pain. So the question is, what do you do about it? Number one, you do the bracing. We have a program that explains all this step by step, 12 weeks, educational videos, what you can do, what you shouldn't do. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link right over here. I'll put a link in the description as well. But the first thing you want to do is bracing. What is bracing? Bracing is where you contract the muscles like someone's going to punch you. Okay? You activate all these muscles of your core. That's bracing. What does bracing do? Prevents you from rotating the shoulders independent of the hips. You don't want them to rotate independent of each other. You want them to rotate together. When they're rotating together, there's no rotation of the spine. Hips and shoulders rotate together. Use the bracing. There's also something we call the stop twist. We have this in the videos in our program. It's about how to train these muscles so the hips and the shoulders work at the same, so they're not twisting against each other. So if you're walking in tight spaces and you have back pain, then you probably have an annular tear and or arthritis. Again, we have a program. It's the 10X program. These are things you can do at home. It's important to know what's wrong with your back. We can help you. You can come see us, or you can do it yourself. Okay, you have to watch the videos and do the program. It's not hard, it just takes a little bit of effort. Okay, it's a 10-step program. We cover everything. If you want to check it out, you go to www.totalbackpainrelief.com/10x order. It's a lot of words, I understand. That's it. Or call this number. Schedule a free consultation. You come see us, we can do it to you, or you can learn to do it yourself and have a strong, stable, resilient spine for the rest of your life. You can get your life back, and can you live your life? That's the key. I want to help you get it back and live it. That's what we do. So that's it. Check it out. www.totalbackpainrelief.com/10x